women on my thing. I guess you can just have friends.
Yeah.
This is friends. So this means it says smile to match his friends. That means she trying to match his friends with me.
Oh snaps! I'm live, cousin.
That's shit, bro.
Okay, I'm live. We are light manifested. It won't let me do it without. We are light manifested. Episode 1. Let me do this first episode, cousin. I'm finna send you the link.
Bye, cousin.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you right back.
All right.
Yeah. Man, I did not want to start right now. Okay, fuck it. I just gotta kick in. Let's see. Hey, what it is, what it do is D Hawk, man. I'm just now learning how to work this YouTube live stream, but I'm in a building, and today we finna talk about who we are. You know what I mean? They say the first step to greatness, first step to wisdom, and all those different things is knowing thyself. So we finna talk about this thing. I'm reading from the book of wisdom. It's this dope um, PDF that you can actually download online and actually go and get this knowledge and tap in to your higher self and your higher nature so that we can make things happen or understand what is even happening. You know what I mean? I heard this saying that it's a lot of people that know what's going on, a lot of people that have no idea what's going on, and what we just need to decide which one we're gonna be. You know what I mean? And I want to be one of those guys where I know what's going on, and not only I know what's going on, I want to tell others what's going on as well. You know. So today I'm reading from the book of wisdom, man, and we're gonna talk about humans. You know. First, we know that we are human beings. You feel me? So, however, all of this stuff is broken down too, and we're gonna start with Genesis. You know, right in Genesis, it talks about light. You know, the first thing that was said is, "Let there be light." God said, "Let there be light." It say we live in a light wave universe where all things are created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter, and high vibrating light turns back into light. It's a universal one by Walter Russell states that God is thinking mind. The substance or body of God is light. So let me go back. It said God is thinking mind, but the substance or the body of God is light. It say the one universal substance, a thinking substance, comprehensive and describable, and possessed of principles which are familiar to man through man's observation of the one universal substance and created things. The substance of all created things is light. The one substance of thinking mind is all that exists. Mind is expressed in light. So we're gonna talk about the word human. You know what I mean? Human. I like to study etymology, and in etymology, it basically breaks down the origin of words. You know what I mean? You know, we got words, and we just say them, and we just use them on a daily. However, each word has an origin. You know what I mean? And the origin of the word human, they talk about is, remember, we are light beings. So hue connects with the word with color. You know, when you talk about the hue of something, we dealing with the color of something. You know what I mean? And the man is directly connected with manifested. So what that tell you, it says that we are light manifested. We are manifested light. So hue man is light manifested. So, and we got this little passage right here, and it talks about, as a human, we are an attribute of color that permits them to be classed. That specified color, each individual is the mind, not the physical body without the mind. the physical body world. Oh no, you know what? Let me break it down as far as like let me take my time and actually read the words that they're speaking and say as a hue man, as a color man, as a light man, we are an attribute of color that permits them to be classed that specific color. So then let's talk about what is hue. It said what best defines a hue. The attribute of colors that permits them to be classed as red, yellow, green, blue, or an intermediate between any contiguous pair of these colors. Red with an orange hue. So if you know the spectrum on the color spectrum, you know that little wave or that little ray or whatnot, it might go all the way from red to violet. You know, red vibrates lower than the violet colors on that spectrum. And you know, you're like, damn, what does all of this mean? You know, well, I think that when we first know what we are and we can break down to who we are in first principle, we'll have a better chance at manifesting higher lit things. You know what I mean? Like if they say that we're light manifested, I mean, I'm not finna focus on the red of myself because the red is all the anger, the low vibrational things, the carnal things of life and things of that nature. However, if I'm talking about the violet flame or the violet ray, we know that that's the higher end of the spectrum, you know? And sometimes some of this stuff may go over our head, but I think that being still and actually meditating on these things, not just reading them, but meditating, spending time with them. I study this stuff often, every day. So I think that's when that's when we gain insight. You know, when we talk about insight, you know, we looking within. We're not looking at, you know, things on the outside or sense consciousness kind of things. It's the eternal things and the subjective things and not the objective things of life. You know, so back to that paragraph on here, it says, without the mind, the physical body or the world would cease to exist. The mind is spirit. The mind is the intellect that manipulates the physical body and the world around us. The mind is like a frequency tuner, tuning itself into different frequencies. The mind exists within the mental plane. So we might be here on the earth plane, the physical plane, but there are different planes of being or different, you know, different planes of existence that exist amongst us right now. We just on a physical plane, but however, our mind, we can't see our mind. We only experience our mind as you know with our thoughts. So however, that thing is on a mental plane, and then we got the astral plane, and that's like kind of like where our aura, you know, when you see like different things like auras and, you know, light charts and x-ray things and stuff like that, you know, there are different planes of existence that we can tap into or know exist, you know. So it says thoughts are not created by the individual. They are received based on what frequency our mind is set to. If we set our mind to a specific topic, like generating wealth, for example, we tune into that frequency in the mental plane and we will receive the thoughts on how to generate wealth. And that's how we able, if we can see it in our mental, we can hold it in the physical plane. And that goes into, you know, I guess as humans, our natural thing, we gotta see it to believe it. However, that's backwards. We gotta believe it to see it, and that's like mind over matter. Like we shouldn't have to see something, you know, to know that it's a real thing. However, we can believe it before it even works its way into the physical reality of things, and do it that way. Which reminds me of the quote: "When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change." And I believe those things, man. I love wisdom. I love knowledge. And we're gonna get back to this light manifested thing. I'm actually sharing this live. If you want to share this live, somebody might want to tune in or whatever. I'm doing my little share real quick. Man, I need to have some promo already blasted out to everybody. And now let's get right back to it. So then it say our mind is generally operating off one specific frequency based upon our daily thinking patterns. Every frequency is a color. Therefore, our mind is manifesting colors within the astral plane based upon what frequency our mind is generally operating off of. If we carry hate in our mind, we will be generating reddish colors. This is why the word human means an attribute of color. So it's just an attribute of color. The COLOUR. That's talking about the whole spectrum. You know, I think a color is talking about a single color. COLOR. You know what I mean? And it's a we should aim to become violet. That's the highest vibrational color within the light spectrum. We are light beings manifested into physical form. And it's so crazy because I feel like in life we have been always taught that what's in front of us is what's real. I was talking to my brother the other day, and I think it's two ways that you can look at things. You can look at the thing, or you can look at the nature of the thing. And I like to look at the nature of the thing. It's like you can look at the cause, or you can look at the effect. You know what I mean? So it's a you don't see into reality. Let's think about that. It's a you don't see into reality. So it's a we do not see into an external world. Light waves enter the retinas, talking about our eyes, and then the image we see is produced in the visual cortex, located in the back of the brain, in back of our brains. The visual cortex is the primary cortical region of the brain that receives, integrates, and processes visual information relayed from the retinas. So the visual cortex is basically like that processor back there that's turning whatever whatever you seeing, the light that you're seeing out into what seems to be the external world is being processed by our visual cortex. It's a the ancient Comedics, the Egyptians had a deep understanding of the function of reality in the brain. This is why it is reflected into their sculptures as shown above. So, if you look at the Egyptian sculptures, it has the blueprint right on the actual sculptures of the visual cortex and the way the eyes see and the way the eyes, see things or whatever. Because, man, it's so crazy, man, just how you can dig deeper and you can get a better glimpse at what you like, really look at what you really looking at, and we talking about psychologically. They said the kingdom is within us, and this is the type of stuff what they mean. That means that our whole body is the blueprint of the kingdom of God that we seeking. That is the kingdom of God. It's showing. It's like knowing thyself is deeper than just, oh, I know who I am. No, you know who your ego is. We know who our ego is, or who we are based off of our experiences. But when you take away all of your experiences and focus in on like who you really are, like what you really are, what our brain really does, how each part of our brain functions, how we function as human beings, how to manifest. I think that's what seeking the kingdom is all about. Seek the kingdom first, and all this righteousness and all these things will be added unto you. So if I'm gonna go seek, when I go to the mall and I say I'm finna go seek, you know what I mean? I'm finna go look for some shoes. And so it's just like seeking the kingdom. I'm finna go into Foot Locker, a place where I'm not just gonna see one pair of shoe. Like, I'm not gonna see just one set of shoes. I'm gonna see hundreds of shoes that I have a choice to be able to see. That's just like the kingdom. The kingdom has so many different truths and laws and realities that we can tap into. And I think when we get lost into looking at that and seeking those things, then that's when all these external things are added unto us. I'm not finished. It's a element. The word element. L. And I'll talk about that in a minute. The elements only exist within the mind. Humans are God made flesh. We are the God in separate bodies. God is mind, and all things exist in the universal mind. God is thinking all things into existence. L means God, and ment means mind. That's just like with entertainment or government. Govern means to control. Ment means mind. The government is put into place to control our minds, and they have been doing it well over the years. Entertainment is what you allow to enter and you contain into your mind. Ment means mind. Remember, every word has a first principle or etymology of every word that we use, you know? So, yeah, I think this is pretty dope. And let's see what else we got on this. So this is from the Book of Wisdom, man. Look, if you got any piece of jewel out of this episode or anything that you want to like look into or call in on the hotline right now, you can call right now. The number is listed right below. 817-612-5617, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I open up the hotlines, and you can ask questions. If you need some understanding or whatever the case may be, you are welcome to call in on the hotline. Let me see, man. We're going to get a caller in here tonight. We going to get a call in here tonight. I don't even know how many people I got on this live. However, you know, watch episode 2. Because I'm finna make this shit popping, you know. Let me see. Let me go to YouTube. Hold up. They gotta show me how to end this mug. There you go.